Well, last year, I announced that I was going to be hiking trails less traveled during 2022, and over the last 12 months, I have hiked 12 trails. These were less known trails. You may not have ever heard of some of them. Not as popular as the Appalachian Trail, but still filled with beauties and experiences that I want to share with you during this video. So come on, I'm Dan, and let's go walking together. Well, my adventures began at the Pinhoti Trail in Alabama, beginning on Flag Mountain. So, Flag Mountain is the beginning of the Appalachian chain. Saw the wonderful fire tower that was built by the Civil Conservation Corps in the 1930s. But the real treat was meeting Nimble Nomad. Nimble was the oldest guy to ever hike the Appalachian Trail. He'd done it 3 times actually, and amazing guy, the man in the mountain there on Flag Mountain. Next day, my brother Rick and I started on the Pinhoti, and it was a winter wonderland. Beautiful day in a beautiful section of the Pinhoti. Did about 80 miles and was on to the next adventure. Then traveling further south to escape the winter cold, I found myself on Cumberland Island in southern Georgia with friends, YouTubers that we get together every year and hike someplace. In the last couple of years we've done Cumberland Island, and this year was no different. It was so pretty. It's a wonderful place to go. Great people to be with. Moving on up to South Carolina, I began the Foothills Trail. I didn't realize just how magical this place would be. Man, that was weird. Look here. Where are we? At the Foothills Trail. And look over here. Who is this? Look at here. It's PTL. PTL and I would hike the 76 miles that went through the National Recreation Trail in South and North Carolina called the Foothills Trail. Such a pretty place. And it quickly became my favorite trail east of the Mississippi. From the Foothills Trail, I moved over to the fiery Gizzard in Tennessee, where I solo hiked this amazing place. Rugged, challenging, but so pretty. This is Blue Hole Falls. Very appropriate name. Got that blue water hole there. The falls are pouring down into it. The sun is shining. The fiery Gizzard gets its name from the fiery Gizzard Creek, where moonshiners used to set up their stills and make that fire water.
more fall.
Just like that, a third of the year was gone. And as winter turned to spring, I moved to Kansas and began hiking a very different trail, the Flint Hills Trail, through the tall prairie grass of Kansas. Trying not to get eaten up by these mosquitoes, but what a neat little water spot. All these lily pads. And while I have never been to Ireland, this was the closest thing that I could think of that it might look like. At the same time, I realized that this was a rare place. Tallgrass Prairie once went from Texas up into Canada, and now here on this small stretch was the longest contiguous area of tallgrass prairie left in North America, and I was here walking through it. Oh, let's go. In June, I jumped up to Wisconsin and hiked the Elroy to Sparta Trail, another Rails to Trail project. This trail had 3 railroad tunnels to hike through, and it was a lot of fun. Paradise out here. In July, I visited Isle Royale. It's up in Lake Superior. It's a 6-hour ferry ride from Houghton, Michigan. And once you get to this island, it's about 50 miles long, 9 miles wide. Populated with about 1,500 to 1,800 moose, and I think they said around 28 wolves. It is a wilderness. In fact, about 99.9% of the island is declared a wilderness, and it's beautiful. Really enjoyed this and look forward to going back again.
My brother is set up on the far side over there in the Lanshan tent, and my duplex is right here. But this is our scene through our doors.
I was anxious about going back to Wind River Range. I'd loved it so much the first time, I wasn't sure that it would be the same on the second. But it still exceeds my expectations. My favorite place, my favorite trail, remains Wind River Range. Texas Pass. Well, the summer decided to linger on and be hot and dry. I went out to the Elk River Trail here in Kansas. If you think Kansas is flat and boring, give me a call. I'll take you to some places that'll challenge you. This is one of them, Elk River Trail. What a beautiful place. It goes right up alongside the Elk River, so you have plenty of water, but it'll challenge you as you climb through the rock formations here. And it's just gorgeous.
Well, good morning. I'm here.
Yeah, there's another chimney. There was another homestead right here. The house is long gone. The chimney's still here. Probably got water from that. We called it a cistern. It really isn't a cistern, but that's what I grew up knowing it as. It would get waterlogged, and my dad would take all 6 boys. We'd all walk about a mile away from the house, and well, just to show you how dry it is here, I'm standing in the middle of Frog Bayou Creek. This is a pretty section. Ozark Highlands Trail is an example of the old hiker adage to never quit on a bad day. It was so dry, I couldn't find any water, but it was so beautiful I wanted to keep on going. I made the wiser choice. Came off the trail early, but I'll go back. One of the most enjoyable and relaxing hikes that I did this year was in Pictured Rocks, Michigan. It's in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and there I met with Nicole of Nicole Hikesalot, her husband Tim, and Jason Outdoors. And the 4 of us hiked through this beautiful place. I'd never been here before. It's on the southern shore of Lake Superior, more like a freshwater ocean than a lake. It's huge, largest freshwater lake in the world. What a wonderful place. It was certainly within at least my top 3 hikes of the year. So fully enjoyed it, and thank you guys for inviting me to come up and hike through this pretty place called Pictured Rocks. Well, for my final adventure of the year, I chose to return to Kansas and hike across the Prairie Spirt Trail. This is a 51-mile path that begins in Ottawa and ends in Iola, Kansas. And in the middle, I passed through 3 counties and 10 small communities. It's the perfect ending to Trails Less Traveled. There wasn't another person to be found out here. I saw deer and bobcats, coyotes, squirrels, rabbits, hawks, quails, doves, songbirds, and even a skunk, but no other humans. It was a cold hike. Temperatures at night dropped into the mid-20s, and in the day the sun briefly warmed the trail to the low 40s. For winter hiking, though, it wasn't bad. I loved the peace and solitude of this place. I reflected on the year past. There had been some major changes in our lives. We had had heartbreaks and great joys. Change is constant, but one thing remains the same. There is healing out here on these trails less traveled. Well, I hope you enjoyed this review of 2022 and my adventures of trails less traveled. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed to Wandering Monk channel. I'm working hard to improve the ways to bring the beauties of the trail to you, and I hope you're encouraged to discover your own adventures. Next year, I'll be sharing more in different ways. I hope to have more live shows where we can participate together. There are amazing places in Kansas that I want to see, and I want to share them with you. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that. It's free to you, and it helps me a lot. This is my last video of 2022. We're traveling to North Carolina and Virginia to see our daughters. We miss our grandchildren, and there's a new granddaughter that we have yet to hold, and we look forward to that. I want to say that I hope every one of you feels God's loving blessings for Christmas. It's my favorite time of the year. At the fullness of time, Scripture reads, when the world was a big mess, Jesus was born to make things right. And the world looks messy outside, but there's peace inside. So stay safe, stay healthy, stay on the path. God bless you, and Merry Christmas.